So our next speaker, we have Serge Kuznetsov, who is, again, a topic I'm really looking forward to listening to, is how to survive during this crypto winter. So thank you so much. And the mic is yours.
Hey, Lana, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really interesting topic and not the really interesting time to be in, to be honest. But okay. Hello, everybody. And thank you for joining us today. And thank you for organizers for this possibility. So let me start from the brief intro. So I'm Serge. I'm the CPO and co-founder of Inxi.io. It is the crypto processing for the business to businesses. We are working with the API, and the good thing, we do provide recurring payment capabilities like payrolls, donations, payments, etc. About my experience, just a bit more words. I successfully launched more than 50 products. Really, some of them was a product line, so don't be scared so much. I raised 7.6 million in one of interesting deep tech product. And regarding the traction, we just started pretty recently. We released in July 28th, but we already have 150K traction volume and pretty good retention rate and monthly transaction. So we're doing pretty well during this time. So let's go to the topic. So basically, how to survive this crypto winter. To be honest, I'm happy. I'm in Turkey, so it's not that cold here yet. So at least temperature-wise, it's a bit easier for me. So first one, should we understand that we're already there? The crypto winter is here. So we need to understand, learn, adapt, and act quickly. That's crucial. So let's talk about the market situation, which is currently happening, what to do with that on the next slide. So the new harsh reality. We should understand that we are in the economy downturn, which could last at least 1 to 3 years. Second thing, we should understand our status. Either we default alive or default dead. This is the term which was introduced by Paul Graham. And what does it mean? Basically, it means, do we create revenue right now or not? So simple as that. But this understanding is pretty crucial for the beginning, to understand the current status we are currently in and what could we do with that. So for example, if you do not have funds to the next round or to default live status, and somehow you have the possibility to raise the capital, you should definitely do this as soon as possible, because who knows when would be the next time. But another thing you should consider pretty intensely, will your company survive within the next 24 hours if in some cases you cannot raise money? This is very tough questions, especially for the startups, for the founders, because sometimes we're too focused on the product, we're too thrilled about the idea, but we do not really count the proximity and do really understand the situation. But it's really crucial to understand where we are right now. So next. Another thing that currently is much tougher to fundraise. If you had the experience of fundraising previously in the last years, you should forget about it, because currently it's completely different situation. And the most bad one that you have the feeling that it's absolutely the same, because you have meetings, you have calls with the VCs, with angels, but nothing happens because the situation has changed. And what is important for those who are post-Series A and still do not get to the product market fit, should definitely focus on achieving this. So finding product market fit become the crucial part to succeed for the next round. Another point, if you plan to raise in the next 6 to 12 hours, be ready for tough times. It could take you 2 to 3 times more. And one more thing, which is not considered if you're doing it for the first time, consider this as a full-time job. For example, in our case, we have 3 persons in our company, me, CEO, and CBDO, who are working like 60% of our work time just for fundraising. It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it's as it is. And please do not overhire if you already raised. There is a big temptation. When you raise the money, you feel, okay, I'm a prince, I will hire everybody I needed to get to my product market fit. But be really careful, because the next round could be not that easy to reach. And you should really think about staying alive for at least 12 to 24 months. So the next slides, we will go deeper to what actions could we do actually to survive. So let's proceed. First one, let's once again say hi to Paul Graham. First of all, do things which do not scale. What does it mean? First of all, I do really recommend you to read Paul Graham. It's 2012, but still, it's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly sharp. It's a very small article, but gives so many insights. So what does he meant under the do things which do not scale? First of all, recruit your first customers personally as the CEO. Learn how to sell. Talk to your customers. Understand their needs personally. Learn how to sell your product. So then you can teach how to do that for your sales team or for your crew. That's pretty important. And another important part, you get the feedback from the customers to understand what are you doing. Is it correct? Because your thoughts and ideas might be completely different from the customer perspective. And that's also really crucial to face the reality, to learn your customers, to understand what shall be done. Second thing, in these things which do not scale, use your own connections, use your family, friends, fools, whoever you know who can help you in the first stages. Use warm interest. So try to sell the first sales to first clients as easy as possible. Second thing, delight your customers. So the important thing, to give the expression or feeling for your customer that his decision to start using your product was the best decision in his life, like the best he ever have previously. So give him the best experience possible. Help them to proceed, even if the product is not perfect, which is always on the very beginning, yeah. But the attention which you give to the customer, how do you hear him, how do you try to solve his problems, is very crucial. So, for example, we are focusing on our first clients. Still, after 4 months, we're still talking to them at least once per week. On the very beginning, it was almost every day, like gathering feedback, understanding what shall be done, helping them to resolve all issues as soon as possible. So trying to provide as best experience as possible. Next one. Yes, we're getting back to the fundraising and prioritization of the cash. So first of all, prioritize the cash. So assume that you will not be able to raise money soon. And if you look on the right part, the top reasons why startup fails, the most important one, they run out of money, run out of cash. So that's the most frequent problem. So you should really protect your runway for at least 12 months. Just to understand, if you do not know what runway means, you should have funds, money, cash on your bank account, or you should be generating it for the next 12 months. That's super important. Okay, let's proceed. Another very tough thing to understand. You should understand and accept that the valuation during nowadays have incredibly dropped down, up to 80%. So your valuation, which was on the previous year, can be 1/5 right now. it's very tough to understand because we're hearing like your competitors raise 10 millions. So why couldn't I do that? Right now, you could raise with the same conditions as it was previously, only 2 in the best case scenario. So be prepared for that. Be prepared that your valuation should be much smaller. Look on your competitors, look on the market, look on the SaaS businesses to understand how deeply we're diving into it, how deeply we dropped, and be prepared for that. Next thing, we should learn and understand the current situation as soon as possible. Like if we are in bad shape, we should know it as soon as possible. So we should consider these metrics: revenue, cash burn, headcount, cash balance, including the dates when you run out of cash, and create at least 4 to 5 scenarios. Like the first one is the basic plan, which you probably already created. Second, revised plan, underperformance. Third one, underperformance plus hiring freeze, plus reduce operation expenses. Another one, additionally, small layoffs. Maybe you should cut off some staff immediately or you will not survive. And the last one, if you have to cut majority of your team. It's pretty tough decision, but it's better to understand it at this moment so you will be able to survive. But if you decided to make the layoffs, you should make it as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, and as early as possible. It is really demoralization, devastating when you do this layoff multiple times. So your team could be really in a bad shape mentally, and well, it's better not to do that. So better to cut everything immediately and then remain stable. Be as human, as kind and generous as possible. So talk to remaining staff, ensure them, motivate them, talk to your leaving team, support them, help them to find a new job. So it's also really important. The earth is round, we will meet each other pretty soon. But after layoffs, focus on your stay team. It's really your crucial work as a leader, as the main guy, to motivate and communicate with your staff, with your team who remained with you. Next part. Ensure that your stay team is capable of turning things around. So running lean, cash balance, but please remember that product and engineering teams have the biggest leverage to help you survive. So cut them latest. Keep playing to win, not just to survive. Repurpose those employees who you do not want to fire, but you can utilize them. For example, in sales, if it's a good product manager, but you're lacking of sales, help them to proceed in this sphere. Another part, reward the outstanding performance with stocks. Okay, we do clear that we do not have enough cash right now. So think about rewarding the best performing teams with a stocks option. Personally thank them with their commitment and contribution. Ensure them that the next stage, the next step will be better, brighter, will have more possibilities, will grow together, etc. So motivate them. Next one. That's a very important part, but not a clear one for a lot of founders. Get smart with pricing. So there is 2 actually completely different situations. When we do have a huge demand and it's spiking, and what we usually wanted to do to increase prices, correct? But that's wrong decision. Better consider adding more lines of premium products with additional features, with additional benefits, but still keep the regular product as well with the same level of price. And second situation, when we're losing demand is dropping, what should we do? First decision is reduce prices, correct? It's also a wrong decision. Try to create a better product. Try to be more flexible with the payment options. Work on reward basis. Bundle products. Create a low entry offers or remove some features from it, but keep your initial products with the same level. It's really essential to keep the price and value aligned intact, even during the toughest time. It will help you on the next stages. Next one. It's really good time, actually, during these tough times to improve your product, to focus your team on making it better. So spare your time talking to customers as much as possible. Make customer developments, make UX tests, analyze data, learn features they love, improve it, understand where they're stuck, what can be done to improve the product. Compare current users' behavior with the new ones, because during the crisis, the behavior can change dramatically. And that's really important because sometimes we're too relaxed with the users who was using our products previously, but now situation can change dramatically. Please look on the data, look on their behavior, understand what changed, and change product accordingly. Be creative. Ask how we can solve the products on the new way, how to solve new problems, how to solve all product problems with the new ideas, etc. Next slide. So, yes, another points. First of all, of course, refocus your marketing activities on those who give you the maximum ROI. Focus on channels which deliver rapid payback on every single dollar spent. Don't assume that historical churn and spend rates will remain consistent. It can change. Dive deep into the data. Recast your strategy. On early stages, eliminate as maximum spends as possible. So your main idea and main focus to survive. Sometimes a lot of startups trying to grow as fast as possible. So they increase the ads spends dramatically, and that's the way to avoid. Be careful with that. Remember that you have to survive at least 12 to 24 months. It's crucial. Second thing, reorient the channels and control your destiny. What does it mean? For example, if you have third parties or partners who are selling your product and you do really rely on them, reconsider it. You should control your channels right now. Take all the control in your hands because they can be facing also some problems right now. They can have problems and also they would like to survive. They can be focused on another points and won't be so eager to help you. So control it. Another point, I really love it, fire certain customers. So the main idea is to focus on the customers who really love our product, who already enjoys it. Make the product better for them. Make the offer better for them. And get rid of those complaining 5-10% of customers. Just get rid of them. Forget about them. It doesn't really matter. If you focus on your core users and expand this base, you will have even better user experience, even more customers who would be happy, who would be returning. So you reduce your churn rate, you increase lifetime. So it's really important point. Okay, next. Incentivize faster and upfront payments. So if you have partners who are paying you, think about how to make them pay upfront, how to pay for example, for a year of your products, not for a monthly basis, but a year or two, some discounts. So create a cash flow. Second, anticipate that your customers' behavior will change. We already talked about it, but once again, it's really important. Your customer could behave right now completely differently. Check it, learn the data, understand what's happening. Try to understand all the path of your customer. Try to improve each step. Another point, replace people-driven processes with technology where it makes sense and where it is possible. So focus your team on things which really matters. not to fill in some reports, not to doing some unimportant stuff. Instead, automate it and focus your team on things which matters. Okay. In some cases, during the crisis, we could really renegotiate the contracts because everyone is trying to survive. So it's very wise to try to negotiate with the deals, to reduce the prices, to have better, well, to consider competitors if the one which we're working with not willing to negotiate. There is competitors on the market, and they also would like to survive. So it's a really good time to reduce the costs. Assess all software and infrastructural costs. If it is possible to remove what we like to have but not really important, remove it. If, for example, you have everybody in Jira or in Confluence, think about it. Do you really need all the team there? Or maybe it's only core team? So consider it. It's also fixed costs which you spend every single month. If you can reduce it, do that. Another point, I really love it because during the crisis time, we have a unique opportunity to hire the best possible employees. Why? Because very good and even big companies get rid not only from the worst, but sometimes from the best. They can close full departments. They can close. The companies could go bankrupt. Products could fail, and a lot of really good stuff enter the market. So search for them, find them, and actually, this is point really important. You should always be looking to the best people on the market, like always, even if your team is full. Always continue looking for the best. Create the list of the best people. When you have options to hire, just contact them. And it will give you the possibility to hire the best or, well, keep in touch with them. Okay, next one. Be committed to be building a high performance culture. Be tough with that. Like explain what you're doing, why you're doing it. Give everyone clear numerical goals and specify how their goals influence the goals of the whole team and whole company. Be visible with all main metrics to all your team. So all your team should be pretty clear what are the main targets in this month, in this year, in this quarter, and how can the person influence on them. Be fair, reforecast, revise targets if something changed on the market, if competition changed, prices increased. So don't be too harsh in this. And one of my favorites is under-promise, over-deliver. It's so simple, but still so important. If we're giving promises to our customers and we deliver more value, we're creating a wow effect. We creating the effect and the willingness of the person to come back, to have this unique feeling like, wow, it's so amazing. So use it wisely, and use it everywhere as possible. I have several more bonus things. First, if you're in Web3, consider giving the solution to the Web2 companies. It was in our case. Initially, was focused mainly on Web3 companies, and we were making a lot of customer development researches, was talking with hundreds of clients, and we realized that more than half of our customers who were willing to connect are actually from Web2, and they just wanted the crypto processing to be in their products and services, or they're already using the crypto processing, they would like to have subscriptions in crypto. And we changed the direction. We completely refocused on these companies because, first of all, it's a crypto winter. And if you can provide value for the Web2 companies who are not suffering so much from the crypto winter, but of course, suffering from the downturn of the economy, but if they combine together, it's even worse, you can also have a revenue streams. Second thing, consider about different blockchains. Use more multi-chain solution. Why it's so important? If something happened with Solana, for example, and you're building a product completely on Solana, you just go bankrupt. That's it. Do not pull eggs in one place. So consider at least about it. If it is possible, if it could apply to your product, use it. Another one, do a B2B solution. Do solution to the startups, because they always need something. They are much more flexible. They're much easier in consideration, in taking new decisions, in using the new products. So thinking about this as the additional niche or product or type of product which you can launch or maybe modify, that those guys can use it. So that's mainly it. So the most important part, first, let's try to recap. Do things which do not scale. Delight your customers and give them the best experience possible. Prioritize cash. Think that you could not be able to raise money quick. Protect your runway for at least 12 to 24 hours, or month, sorry. Valuation declined dramatically. Please be aware. Evaluate the situation. Fire quickly if it's necessary. Support living and crew which remained with you. Reward the outstanding performance with stocks. Get smart with the prices. Do not decline it without thinking. Improve your product. Fire the customers whom you do not need. Hire the best personnel. Be committed to the building high-performance culture. Underperformance and over-deliver. Provide solutions to the Web2 companies if possible. Build your products on the multi-chains. Do a B2B solution where it is possible. So that's mainly it, but I have also several blogs for those who are fundraising, and I will just share it with you because we're currently in this stage, and that might be pretty important for you. So if you're on the early stage on pre-MVP, please consider going to the accelerators. It's much easier than going to the VCs or to the angels, especially if you do not have tractions. That could be a very good solution. And consider, of course, first of all, the main four, like Y Combinator, A16Z Crypto, Sequoia Capital, Alchemist. Because if you will have them in your portfolio as investors, the next round would be 10 times easier. Actually, if you're past the YC, usually a lot of potential investors already waiting for you, because this is the credit of belief and trust in you. If you are there, you're already credited. So use it wisely. Another possibility, if you're very early stage, consider going to the foundations, like Ethereum foundations, Binance Labs, Solana Foundation, Polygon Technology Funds, Celo Foundation, etc. All of them have grants, which could be, well, they're usually not that big, to be honest, but they might help you a lot on the very, very early stages. Use it. And of course, if you already have tractions, first clients, good growth, go to the VCs, go to the angels, go to the syndicates. There is a lot of very good resources. And here just a list of ones we really liked and to use it mainly on the daily basis. Actually, on the next slide, I will give you the QR code to the Notion where every single resources from here will have a links. So please use it. I hope it was, well, at least something you get from my presentation and you will survive during these harsh times, because the good thing, if we will survive, we'll become stronger. And actually, there would be no obstacles in the future for us. Because if we will survive this, come on, we'll have all possibilities in the future. So that's mainly it, guys. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I would be happy to reply. Dear team.
Yes, thank you so
Lana,
much. Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm happy that there's
you're very welcome.
because I was trying to write them down. That was wonderful. And I have to say, you showed a picture of Jon Snow. You kind of look like him. So it felt
Really?
extra nice,
So,
you
so
know, to take surviving the
no
winter from you.
bread. Okay,
You
fine.
know, if you grew out a beard and stuff and grow out your hair, I think you
Beard.
could
Yeah,
pass. Yeah.
my
Thank-
wife won't allow it, unfortunately.
oh, okay. That's
only
okay.
only in the dreams.
Okay, only a dream. Maybe a Halloween costume one year. Well, thank you so much. I
Yeah,
know for
good
me,
option.
yeah, my biggest takeaway from that was really about like rooting down into what matters most. And you were kind of speaking to it a little bit at the end where, like, don't worry if you make it through this winter, there really won't be a lot that stops you in the future. And I think like a good
Absolutely.
analogy is just this is a time for us to really dig deep, deep roots so that when the inevitable bull run comes, especially with hopefully more mass adoption and every cycle will get more intense, it just allows you to ensure that your organization, your company, your product, whatever it is that you're launching, is able to be strong enough to sustain that growth and accomplish whatever the goals are. So
Absolutely.
yeah, your points were really awesome for that. So just
Thank you.
glancing over if there's any questions. I know for myself, um, even in listening to your presentation, it's very clear that you're like a people first, genuine, authentic, like connection first. And I've noticed that from all of our speakers today, which means shout out to EpicWeb3 for picking really good, genuine, authentic speakers. But my question is just like, how do you stay in alignment with your values? Because obviously when we're in a crypto winter, there is fear, and left, right, and center exchanges are dropping. People who you had faith in are showing their true colors. So how do people also, as founders, weather all of those emotional hits in this industry and stay rooted in their values so that they can survive the crypto winter?
Well, I think that's the core values. We're living in good and bad times with that. So if we're initially with these values, it's okay. I mean, it would be sometimes hard, sometimes it will hit us, but anyways, we should remain people. Yeah, anything that could happen. Well, first of all, we will not die, no matter what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, the project is closed. Okay, launch new project, go for the competition. There is a lot of options in the worst case scenario. Yeah, so I think we should always be ourselves. I mean, be aligned with our core values. And by the way, the crypto community is incredible. I mean, I'm in the Twitter for 4 months, and it's incredibly welcome. I mean, they support each other. They talk like, "Come on, we will survive." During the FTX crash, it was, "Oh my God, we're still alive. Who is here?" And a lot of like this. But still, the people are really positive, because I think in long term, anyways, we will recover, because Web3, crypto, blockchain is amazing technologies which are really changing the world. It's not like the fun things, yes, it's something really in the basic level, in the basis, which changes the whole approach. So I really believe we have a very bright future.
Yeah, I'm on the same ship as you. And I think, yeah, to summarize what you're saying, it's this idea of high intention, low attachment. So knowing like you want to be value first, people first. And if a project or doesn't work out, like you can go to something else, because really most people have actually tried and failed multiple times before they hit success. And also shout out to Alchemy. I see your t-shirt. They're also just like a very wonderful
Yeah.
team who have really great resources for builders as well. So highly recommend
Absolutely.
that.
And support.
Exactly. Yeah. The people there are really nice. So one of the questions we have is, do you think it's the right time to actually start the product in Web3? The question comes from a person, they don't have a startup just yet. They're just thinking, but they're wondering, like, should they wait until the end of crypto winter, or should they start tinkering now?
It's a very good question. I think first of all, do they have enough funds to run for 12 to 24 months? If yes, definitely it could be a best time possible, because all the best products on the market actually was starting during the tough times. So if you would be able to survive, even just to survive, the majority of competitors will just die. You could be just one remaining, capturing all the market shares and so on. So it's a very good opportunity to start. But definitely, well, you should consider going to the accelerators. If your idea is really good, if you have a prototype, you have a very good chances of going there and actually getting a huge boost in your product and first clients, because they also, the YC has a very good network inside, and a lot of startuppers help each other, etc. So I think it's a very good time to begin with, but you should have, well, some funds at least for the 12 month ahead. If you have it, no problem, jump there. It's a very good time.
Yes. And I think too, with what you were saying earlier about like small grant programs, like launching a product at a hackathon is also a really, really great way to get some traction, get some funding. Probably won't last you 12 to 24 months. But then, as you said, it does actually get you a lot of protocols like Polygon. They'll provide you with like your winnings, but then they'll also put you into their kind of accelerator where there are some grant funding you can unlock and mentorship programs as well. So a hackathon is also a great place to kind of have your debut and be exposed to potential funding that can then get you through all of those next stages, whether it be in person or a virtual hackathon as well.
Exactly. That's a very good option. That's true. I haven't mentioned that, but you're absolutely right. It's one of the best, actually.
Yeah, I'm addicted to going to the hackathons.
Yeah, because you get the traction, you get a feedback, you have everything just very fast, so you can test your ideas within your days. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. And as you were saying, and all speakers today have really highlighted the power of like personal connections. Hackathons and conferences are just a great way to be introduced to people, and because you're actually around building in the crypto winter, people respect you a lot more, take you more seriously, and are more willing to help you. Like even your presentation, you clearly put a lot of effort into that. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your feedback.
Yeah. And then just so one last question, and we'll just take a couple minutes to answer this because we're coming up on the next presentation time.
Sure.
But the person says, thank you, Sergey, great presentation. You mentioned accelerators versus VCs. Do you think that it is possible to go to accelerators if you only have an idea, or do you need at least MVP or traction?
Not necessarily. You can go. Well, you couldn't go to VCs with the idea right now. No problem. Not possible at all. Zero change. We tried. Zero chance. So the accelerators is probably the only option you have, and definitely you can if the idea is unique. Well, of course, if you have like MVP or prototype, it would be a bit easier. But why not to try? I mean, try it. You're not gonna die for sure, but who knows? Use first of all the tier 1, then tier 2, tier 3 accelerators. Do not go to the ones you have to pay for, just only for the free ones. It's enough. It's a lot of them. So I would try it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And there are so many free programs to hop into right now as
Exactly.
And then thank you so much for your time. And just, do you have like a
Thank
parting wisdom you want to provide for any of the listeners?
Try to survive, cut the costs, delight your customers. Actually, the delighting of the customers is probably the most important part from the beginning. Just talk to them, try to make them happy customers, because this culture you will cultivate in the very beginning will continue growing, and you will have much more chances of winning in the long term. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
I love
Thank
that.
you for listening.
Yes. And then get a really warm coat to survive winter as well. That's good too.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your presentation.
Thank you.